Hi, everyone. I'm here with Liz Poskie from the College of St. Scholastica. We are here to talk with her about the UMAC Scholar-Athlete Leadership Award. She is one of two of our recipients of this award for the women this year. For those of you who don't know, the UMAC Scholar-Athlete Leadership Award is the top academic and athletic honor that our conference gives out each year. It's selected by our Faculty Athletics Representatives Council. Each institution has one male and one female nominee. So Liz is of a very elite group of individuals, and we're excited to have her here today. The award recognizes individuals who excel in the areas of athletics, academics, service, and leadership with a focus on academics and service. So we're going to talk to her about some of those things, but just a little bit more about Liz before we start asking her some questions. So she is a 4-year participant on a lot of teams. She participated in cross country, indoor track and field, and outdoor track and field. She's from Cotton, Minnesota. She is a biology and psychology double major and a focus on pre-medicine, and has already been accepted to medical school at the University of Minnesota Duluth. So we'll ask her a little bit about that. From an athletics perspective, she was a part of a very successful St. Scholastica cross country and track and field programs that won numerous conference titles. She's a 2-time all-conference finisher in cross country. She also won the 5,000 meter run indoor in 2019. For those who don't know a lot about track, that's a lot of laps around the track for a race. So that's extremely impressive. She's all sportsmanship honoree, a 2-year captain of her teams. From academic side, Dean's List student, academic all conference. She participated in a variety of very complex research projects. She also served as a teaching assistant and a tutor. She's a member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, where she participated in a lot of service projects. She also works as a CNA and has volunteered in different medical and care facilities, and is already ready to go into medical school. So Liz, thanks for joining us. That's a long list of things to say in one breath. So I'm really excited to have you here with us. First question, can you, for those of us who are very unfamiliar with Minnesota small towns, can you tell us where Cotton, Minnesota is, and maybe one thing that your town is famous for that you appreciate?
So yeah, first, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to say thank you. In Cotton, Minnesota. So if everyone knows where Duluth, Minnesota is, so Cotton is about 45 minutes north of Duluth. It's a town of 200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the township's a little bit bigger, but I would say one of the most things we're famous for is our high school actually closed down when I was in 7th grade. And so some community members bought it and they turned it into Old School Lives, which I thought was just kind of like a really amazing thing to do. So now it's kind of like a community center, a fitness center. It has little shops in it. And, it's kind of one of those attractions on the side of the road when you're on a road trip that you'll stop by and options. So I personally use the fitness center there a lot. So it's always a good supplement when I'm home for breaks. So,
or when you're home permanently from school.
Exactly. Yes.
That's awesome. Just really wanted to kind of start off with a fun question, but knowing that it's close to Duluth, why did you choose to attend St. Scholastica? What kind of drew you to the school, while you were in high school, and what have you appreciated about being at St. Scholastica?
So initially, being from Southridge, which is about 30 miles from St. Scholastica and UMD, I knew that they were two of the bigger schools, and so one of my friends had me take a tour with them, and so I checked it out. And once I entered on campus, it was in the middle of winter. They had all the Christmas lights up. I just fell in love. It was so awesome. My admissions counselor was just so personable, and showed me all the options available for scholarships, and I just kind of felt at home, which I didn't really have that feeling at other campuses I toured. And I just really appreciate the lessons and the life values that I've learned at St. Scholastica. I just feel like it's just such a unique atmosphere. They just instill those Benedictine values in you, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything. So
That's really special, and everyone has a good story for how they end up where they did, and it usually works out for the best. So it's clearly worked out well for you. We listed off just a small amount of your achievements while you've been at St. Scholastica. So what does it mean to you to be selected for an award as a student athlete that really focuses more on all the things you've done outside of athletics?
I am incredibly honored to be selected for this award just because I know there are so many amazing senior student athletes within the UMAC at St. Scholastica and each and every school. And so I'm just incredibly honored to be chosen as, among those women. And I'm also just really appreciative of the coaches and the professors and, the staff members that have helped me get to where I am today, including, the UMAC and providing opportunities for me to, achieve different things and partake in different activities. So I'm just incredibly honored, and I'm just thankful for this award.
That's so great. So we heard a little bit about some of the things that you've been a leader in, captains of your teams, in academics with tutoring and teaching assistants, research, service. What stands out to you about yourself as how you display leadership and how you have done that over your career at St. Scholastica?
I think for me, I think communication is a really big thing for me, and just like going and making yourself available to each and every one, like whether it's in tutoring and you make yourself available for that one-on-one time and you let them know you're there for them, and being a captain, communicating between the team and the coaches, and also being a student athlete advisory committee, representing your team and making sure your team has a voice. So I think communication and making sure every individual, in a tutoring setting or an athletic team or, in a campus job or anything else, that everyone has a voice and they're always, have a good set of communication skills.
Sure. I think that as a student athlete, communication is probably one of the biggest things you learn or improve on while you're in college, and I think that you'll take with you. So that's really important and a good insight. Moving from leadership, maybe talking a little bit about some of the service opportunities you've been involved in, which the list went on and on and on. So are there a couple of projects that you were involved in that you really appreciated, and maybe what you've learned from being involved in service opportunities at St. Scholastica?
Yeah, for sure. So through St. Scholastica, every semester we actually have a community day. So we have an entire day off of classes, and it's dedicated to doing some type of service project. One of my favorite service projects we actually did this past fall. We went with the cross-country team, and we took the Hartley Trails, which is a big trail set in Duluth, and something that like our cross-country team uses all the time. And we kind of rerouted an entire trail path just to like keep it maintained. And it was just so awesome to give back to our community and run on the trail, fix the trails that we run on. And there's been other activities through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. This is probably like my favorite service activity we've ever done. We go probably every semester to the Boys and Girls Club of Duluth. And it's so much fun to interact with those kids. And it always either ended up in like a 2-on-2 basketball game or, a really competitive game of dodgeball, which was so much fun.
Yeah.
I had just as much fun as the kids, if not more than them. So it was really fun just to see, the kids and how just a little bit of your time can make such a big impact on them. So.
Yeah, it's funny how much dodgeball can bring people together, and especially when you're playing with kids. That's really, really fun opportunity you shared with us. So thank you. Maybe moving into athletics a little bit, you have been a part of some very successful teams, have some really impressive individual accomplishments. What have you enjoyed most about being a student athlete, and maybe one or two memories that kind of stick out for you from that part of your experience?
Yeah, so I guess one of the best things about being a student athlete, it's, you kind of have your own little like family on campus, which is kind
Hmm.
of nice. Like freshman year, entering school, you meet your cross country team because we come to campus 2 weeks early. So it was almost kind of like you already had that little niche, that little
Hmm.
family. Same with track too. You just have like two giant families, and they're always there for you, and you have this giant support system. And my favorite memory, it would probably be I think it was my junior year of cross country at the UMAC championships. Our team, we took home the championship, and I believe we had 7 girls in the top 11, and we
Hmm.
scored 2 through 7, and it was, I believe, tied for the second lowest score all time. So it was just like this buzzing atmosphere. It was so much fun, and you could just see in the race, just the Scholastica girls. We formed packs, and you're just watching your team come together and just race with each other, and bring home that championship in such a low score. It was so much fun. That was probably my favorite
Yeah,
memory.
and the sun was actually shining that day, which is very rare at a cross country meet.
Yeah, that was one of the rare ones. Everything else, it was muddy and rainy. So
Muddy, rainy, and really cold.
yeah, yeah. So that added to the good memory.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's really special. And I think the things that you'll kind of take with you, maybe thinking a little beyond just like the achievements of athletics, what are some of the, skills or knowledge or things that you'll take away from being a student athlete that you think are going to help you be successful moving forward in your pursuits as, in the medical field?
Yeah, so I think St. Scholastica and being a student athlete has instilled so many, great lessons and values in me. And I think two of the biggest ones for me would be dedication and
Mhm.
teamwork. Because I know in the field of medicine, you have to be dedicated to your practice, to your patients, and
Mhm.
continuous improvement just because medicine, it advances so much. So you have to be willing to work hard and keep up with that. And also, teamwork, because you have to work with a team of other medical professionals, PTs, OTs,
Mhm.
all different types of professionals to provide that holistic care for your patient, which are
Mhm.
like two big values that I have always practiced at St. Scholastica and being a student athlete. So I'm really thankful for those lessons I've learned.
Sure. I think that student athletes are really dedicated, and I think that that is going to make you a great doctor. So, maybe tell us a little bit about what your next plans are. I know we've talked that UMD is the plan for medical school, but maybe elaborate on that a little bit. What kind of medicine you want to get into? You're going to start running a ton of marathons. What does life look like after graduation for you?
Yeah, so I plan to start medical school this August, at UMD, and I'm really fortunate to stay in the beautiful city of Duluth. I love it. I'm closer to
Mhm.
home.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I want to focus on primary care in like a rural health setting, just because
Mhm.
that's kind of what the campus emphasizes, and it's just something I've always, been interested in coming from cotton. So, and then running wise, yes, I would love to keep running and running marathons. I actually signed up for Grandma's Marathon. Even though it's canceled, I still
Aw,
plan on running it virtually with one of my best friends. So,
that's awesome.
yeah, so we're still in the momentum for training for that. And so I hope I can keep doing little races here and there and just be a lifelong runner for sure. So,
That's awesome, and I think, as a former runner who has hung up the shoes and did one marathon, I think you will probably find great success and enjoy it a lot more than I ever did, but it's a cool experience, and I'm glad you're gonna still make it happen, despite the circumstances, so that's awesome, and really kinda look forward to following you, in your career as a doctor and know you'll be very successful, so thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and your experiences. And again, congratulations on this award. We're very excited for you and think you are a great representation of UMAC. So, congratulations and thanks again for doing this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for this honor. It means so much to me, and I appreciate it. So